Hello everybody, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to show you now a quick 30-minute workout that you can do back home. It requires minimum equipment and can be done at any time of the day. This workout is going to focus a little bit more on building strength, building muscle, and show you that even though you're stuck back home, you still have alternatives to focus on those fitness areas. The only equipment that you're going to do is a little bit of weight resistance. Those of you who have dumbbells or kettlebells, it's going to be fine, you can use those. Those of you who don't have any equipment, you can use a backpack, you can fill it with anything that you think is going to be heavy enough for you to do the exercises. Simple as that, okay? I'm going to show you some exercises that you are going to perform in sets of 3. Each set is going to consist of 10 to 15 repetitions. So we're going to get you started. Okay, exercise number 1, we are going to do a split squat, which is basically you are going to go 1 foot in front, 1 foot on the back, same as the lunge stance. The idea for this exercise is, I'm sure many of you have done a regular lunge. Those of you who hasn't, I'm going to show you quickly. You drop down and you come up. It's a classic exercise. It's really good lower body training. What I want you to do now is something a little bit different. We are going to play with the tempo a little bit. You're going to keep your chest out, shoulders back. So you are going to drop down as low as you can. Then instead of going fully up, you're going to reach a middle point. You're going to drop down again, and then you're going to stand up. That is going to be 1 rep. So again, instead of going up and down like usual, what we are going to do is drop, midway, drop again, and then go up. Like I said, that's 1 rep. You are going to do between 10 to 15 each side. I'll leave it up to you to play. It's going to depend on your level. Some people have stronger legs than others, but regardless, you should still feel the effect of this exercise. What I just showed you now is the baseline that you should be able to follow. If this still feels a little bit easy, then you can use your resistance. Like I said at the beginning of the exercise, dumbbells, kettlebells, anything heavy that you have at home. Those of you who don't have anything, make sure you use your backpack. If you use it, regardless of the form of resistance that you're using, make sure to keep it close to your chest. It's going to be a little bit easy for you to move throughout the exercise, yet it's still going to make it a little bit harder. So, close to your chest, take your stance, drop, midway, drop again, and up. And you keep going. Remember, you should be aiming, each rep should last roughly 4 seconds. If it's lasting a little bit less than that, it means that maybe you're going a little bit too quick. I would recommend that you slow down a little bit, make sure that you're really overloading the muscles the way the exercise is intending for you to do. After you complete 1 leg, turn around, go to the other side, and keep going. Drop, midway, drop, and to the top again. If using the resistance is still too easy for you, then I'm going to give you another progression that you can do. You take your stance, and whatever form of resistance that you have, you're going to be holding it on top of your head. Remember, this is going to challenge your balance a lot more. Make sure to keep your chest out, make sure to control your shoulders. Don't allow the weight to be moving around too much over your head. And you go. Drop, midway, drop again, stand up. 1. Same as before, 10 to 15 reps 1 leg, 10 to 15 reps on the other leg. After you complete 1 set, you're going to rest 30 to 15 to 45 seconds, and you complete 3 sets of this exercise. Okay, exercise number 2. We are going to do now a hip thrust. As you can see, I have a bench next to me. The idea of the bench is, since you're going to be working at home, I want you to use a couch. A couch is going to be better than a chair because simply it's going to be a little bit more comfortable and it's going to be way more stable. What you're going to do is basically you're going to set the middle of your back on the edge of the bench or couch, something like this. While you're holding yourself here, remember, keep a solid stand, try to keep your chest out as much as possible. You are going to flex your knees, you are going to place your feet properly on the floor. Remember, you're going to be pushing through your feet. If you feel like you're lifting either your toes or your heels, you're doing it wrong. Make sure to keep your feet properly planted throughout the whole movement. So you're going to keep your chest out, you are going to drop your hips as much as you can, and up, drop down. As you can see, I'm going a little bit slower. That's what I want you to do. You are going to squeeze your glutes at the top, and then you're going to drop down. This is a very good exercise to work on your glutes, your hamstrings, your core, basically everything. It's going to help you with posture. It's going to help you to prevent injuries. If the version I just showed you is too easy for you, same as before, we can use our resistance again. The idea of this works is set yourself on your couch again. Try to place your resistance roughly on hip bone line. It's going to be placed like this. Same as before. Chest out, feet properly planted on the floor, and drop, up, drop, and up. If the resistance that you have is not heavy enough, then another way of making it even harder. Take your stance, and basically you are going to do a single leg hip thrust. You're going to stretch your legs, drop down, up, drop down, and up. Remember, the tempo is going to stay the same throughout all the variations that I just showed you. Just like before, you are going to do 3 sets, 10 to 15 reps. Make sure that you really feel it. Your hamstrings and your glutes should fire up really quickly with this exercise, and, well, keep it challenging. Okay, the next exercise I'm going to show you is going to be a reverse fly. It's a shoulder focused exercise. It's going to engage also a little bit of the triceps. For this, you need to use the resistance again, just like before, dumbbells, kettlebell, your backpack, or anything else that works for you. The idea is that you're going to feet shoulder width apart. You're going to lean forward a little bit. The more parallel your chest is to the floor, the more challenging the exercise is going to be, which it is what we're aiming for. You're going to bring your arm in front of you, try to stretch it out completely, and bring it to the side. 1, 2. Just like before, we are aiming for a slow tempo. 2 seconds up, 1 second hold, 2 seconds down. I'll show you from the side. It should look roughly like this. Soft knees, feet shoulder width apart. Focus on the hip first, lean forward as much as you can, and 2 seconds up. 1 second here, 2 seconds down. 1 second up, here, and down. It should feel slightly easier, so I encourage you to do at least 15 reps per arm. It's going to be same as before. We are going to do 3 sets, 15 repetitions. Make sure to really keep it even. Control the movement throughout the whole range of motion. Don't allow your arm to be flaring up like that. You need to keep control of the weight at all times, okay? Okay, for the final exercise of today, we are going to do a classic push-up. We are going to place a little bit of a twist on it. You are going to do 3 sets of 13 repetitions, but the surprise is, at the end of the last repetition, you're going to go midway through the range of motion, and you're going to hold the push-up for 10 seconds. And that is going to be 1 set. You are going to complete 3 sets of this exercise. So it should look something like this. Drop down on the floor. You complete your reps. Like I said before on the warm-up, remember, keep your chest out, keep your shoulders back, elbows 45 degrees. Touch, place your chest on the floor on the way down, and lock your elbows on the way up. Should be full push-up. So you complete your reps, and at the end, after the 13th rep, you're going to stay in the middle, and you are going to hold. I'm going to count 10 seconds, and then you're going to stop. You are going to do that for 3 sets. Like I said before during the warm-up, those of you who struggle with doing a full push-up, you can do it on your knees. It should look something like this. Chest out, shoulders back, keep your head in line with your body. Drop, up, drop, up, and then after you complete your 13th rep, down to the middle, and you hold again. Those of you who feel brave enough, you can hold for, of course, for 15 or 20 seconds. That's going to make the exercise more efficient, but I'll leave it up to you. As long as you can hold for at least 10 seconds, it's good enough. Just like before, if doing the push-up on its own feels too easy, you can use your backpack again. This time you're going to have to wear it on your back, of course. you're going to take your stance. Even though you're going to have weight behind you, make sure that you try to keep a solid stance. Keep your chest out, keep your shoulders back, and keep your elbows in 45 degrees. So, just out, back, down, up, down, up. And after the 13th rep, go down and hold. Okay. So after that, like I mentioned before, 3 sets, 10 repetitions, 10 to 15 repetitions, plus the 10-second hold. And with that, we are done for the workout. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember, even though you're stuck at home, you can still find many alternatives to get stronger, build a little bit of muscle, and hopefully have some fun. Thank you for tuning in and hope to see you on the next time. Bye.